The time is 7 p.m. Good evening. The news headline. President arrested after military coup. The news in full. In a shocking move, Guinea soldiers have taken control over the government and suspended the constitution. Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya of the military said in a video recorded in the capital Conakry that the National Assembly has been dissolved. A video has also circulated on social media showing President Alpha Condé being held by soldiers. He was subsequently shoved into a vehicle and driven away. The development came after residents had about 2 hours of heavy gunfire across the capital. Mr. Doumbouya said all land and air routes have been shut in the interim, asking citizens to remain at home and await further instruction on the direction of the government. Mr. Doumbouya also lamented widespread corruption and poverty as key reasons for the takeover, saying Mr. Condé had failed to deliver on his promises to Guinea people. Mr. Condé, 83, won a third term of office last October. Continental body AU has yet to release a statement about the development. And the news analysis. It has been surfacing on air now that a coup has actually taken place at Guinea, where the Guinea president allegedly has been arrested by the coup and also driven away. And according to the Washington Post, they say they wrote as such that Guinea military officials say they have detained the president and taken control of the country. Conakry, Guinea. Soldiers have detained the president of Guinea. The head of the West African Nations Special Forces said in a video on Sunday, adding another potential coup d'etat to the country's long record of military takeovers. Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya said President Alpha Condé was in custody following hours of gunfire in the capital, Conakry, and warnings for people to stay indoors. The military has seized control of Guinea, dissolved its government, and sealed the borders, Doumbouya said, citing the trampling of the rights of citizens and disrespect of democratic principles as motivations. Military officers repeated the takeover claim on national television, with Guinea's red, green, and yellow flag draped on their shoulders, adding that they plan to forge a transition government. Condé, 83, took office 11 years ago in the country's first democratic election since independence from France in 1958. He pledged to steer the nation of roughly 13 million out of a culture of corruption that has shaped decades of authoritarian rule. But Condé sparked deadly riots last fall after he sought a third term in what critics blasted as defiance to Guinea's constitution. He argued that law changes under his tenure, engineered by his own government, had reset the clock on his allowed number of terms. On Sunday, photos and videos circulating on WhatsApp showed the president flanked by men in military fatigues. A silent Condé, wearing jeans and a tight dress shirt, kept his gaze from the camera. Several soldiers and president's bodyguards died in the clashes, local media reported. By midday, video footage from Conakry captured people cheering as trucks carrying troops rumbled down the streets. Bravo! Some onlookers shouted, "Bravo, it is done." Not everyone exuded joy. It is a disappointment, a feeling of failure, said Mamadi Kaba, president of the League for Rights and Democracy in Africa in Conakry. Nearly half of Guineans live in poverty, despite the nation's immense natural resources. The country boasts the world's largest reserves of bauxite, the main source of aluminium for cars and beer cans and foil wraps. Condé turned Guinea into a top bauxite exporter, cutting flashy deals with foreign companies. Activists have actually accused him of failing to share the wealth with the people and ruining the land in process. We hope this will be a new start, Kaba said. We hope for institutional reform. It was unclear Sunday where the troops were holding Condé. His office made no statement, and government officials did not respond to requests for comment. The tumult in Guinea comes about 3 months after military officials in neighborhood of Mali carried out a second coup d'état in less than a year. The Malian military official who hosted both President Colonel Assimi Goïta had attended several US military trainings on American and Western Africa soil. Doumbouya, who has led Guinea's special forces since 2018, also participated in a US exercise in Mauritania 2 years ago focused on fighting terrorism. He praised the sharing experience in a 2019 interview. Guinea's military last grabbed power in 2008 after the death of a president, Lansana Conté, the country's second leader in the post-colonial era, an army officer who had led the country with an authoritarian fist since the mid-1980s. Conté himself had seized control in a coup backed by Guinea troops, and now it is quite his time after he had been elected into office about 11 years ago since the independence from France in 1958, and because he has gone against his pledge to make sure that the country is free from corruption, nevertheless instigating and influencing corruption in the nation, the military have said this was actually their reason